Good day everyone! So for today, i-discuss natin ang 5 key functions of the entrepreneur by Jennifer Warawa. So tara na! Jennifer Warawa served as the Executive Vice President of Partners, Accountants, and Alliances at Sage, a global technology company operating in 23 countries around the world, with a customer base of over 3 million in a partner, accountant, and bookkeeper ecosystem of over 120,000. In her role, Warawa is responsible for the strategy and execution of Sage's partner program worldwide to drive success and generate revenue for the partner network. By working in close collaboration with regional partner leaders, Warawa creates and develops strategic alliances and relationships, fostering new business development opportunities, recruiting new partners, and acting as an advocate of Sage within the partner community and an advocate of the partner community within Sage. So what is CCO? CCO stands for Chief Customer Officer. The general role of the CCO is to serve alongside the executive board, ideating and designing new programs and systems to improve the customer experience. This could occur in any number of ways, from designing customer loyalty programs to incorporating training programs for new employees and customer experience. Now let's develop a deeper understanding of the objectives of the CCO. According to the Chief Customer Office Council, the role of the CCO is to solve lasting customer problems, build a long-term competitive advantage, retain loyal customers, and create a strategy to help increase profit from customers. Everything the CCO does should be to provide a thorough customer perspective in executive decisions and increase the lifetime value and profitability of customers. They need to understand the customer inside and out almost better than the customer itself. How to become the Chief Customer Officer? The first one is be obsessively customer-centric. The reason this position was not necessary in the past was because customers used to be satisfied simply when their problem was met with a solution. However, nowadays that's not the case. Customers want brands to interact with them and provide benefits way beyond the single solution they originally required. In short, customers hold all the power. To become CCO, you need to do more than satisfy their customers. You need to be totally engrossed in understanding how the minds of your target customers work. The second one is to learn to collaborate easily. As the CCO, you need to work very closely with the rest of the C-suite. It is your responsibility to unite the C-suite in seeing the customer's perspective. A 2016 PwC survey notes that 90% of CEOs already believe customers have the largest impact on company strategies. So it is less about convincing them that customers are important and more about convincing them how to make decisions based on customers. The important thing is to work together. Since the CCO position is so relatively new, it may be easy for other members of the C-suite to treat it as less significant. Assert yourself as an equal partner and not someone who requires the approval of others. The third one is be open to customer feedback. Unlike other CISO titles, the CCO doesn't just work with other employees. You also get to work with customers, and customers these days love to give feedback, be it positive or negative. If you want to become the CCO, you need to learn to accept feedback, even it is negative. and also take it into consideration when developing your customer strategies. Customers will appreciate the efforts taken by your company, which is good news because 70% of customers share positive experiences with brands with their greater networks. The fourth one is work closely with your frontline teams. Educate your frontline workers regularly on new customer strategies. If they feel in the loop of these matters, they may feel more motivated to try to reach company goals, and of course, make them understand the value they hold in the company. After all, if there were no customer service representatives, you would have no one to lead. The fifth one is show your value by rising up to the position. Since you are invested in a customer focused role, show your dedication by starting out in an entry level, which is customer service job. By working exceptionally hard, you can rise up just as in any other department. However, the unique thing about being the CCO is that you need to have an in-depth understanding of your customer base. In that sense, it may be more beneficial to you to ascend internally rather than by jumping between different companies. Once you begin working at one company, you will start to develop a deep comprehension of and loyalty to your target customers. So the last one is build a foundation for yourself before you are even hired. Due to unsteadiness of the position, it is crucial that you lay out a path for success in advance. Do your research on CCOs of other companies and what they have accomplished. Set basic goals with the help of the CEO to ensure that you are both in agreement. In reality, every customer service representative has the potential rather, to someday become the CCO. Your direct relationship with customers gives you a great understanding of their thoughts, opinions, and needs. Those are skills that can only be learned through experience. So keep being your ambitious self. You never what you can accomplish until you try.
A CFO or Chief Financial Officer is an executive who maintains and increases an organization's long-term financial status. The Chief Financial Officer is the highest-ranking financial employee. Some people, especially in the United Kingdom, may also call this person the Financial Director. The CFO reports directly to the CEO, such as the Chief Executive Officer. And the CFOs are not only responsible for managing financial strategies, but also developing them. To do this, they have to work with the other C-level executives to make sure strategies are aiming in the right direction.
CFO roles. Chief Financial Officers are accountable for the financial and administrative operations of a company. They are also accountable for its risk management operations. Some of their roles include finances and assets, such as developing financial strategies, preserving the company's asset. The job also includes boosting the business assets. If necessary, planning a debt and equity aid, monitoring investment funds, managing finances, accounting, investor relations, the treasury, and taxation issues. Also, to a certain extent, managing some of the legal department matters. Overseeing the financial results and operations of the company. The CFO also reports them. In terms of performance compliance subsidiaries, such as creating performance reports, the role also includes devising possible measures to address performance problems, supervising and negotiating any future mergers, as well as acquisitions, monitoring all the company's funding. The job also include monitoring all the organization's transactions, supervising cash forecast as well as cash balances. These are the CFO qualification requirements. The first one is in terms of finance accounting management. For a CFO vacant position, the candidate should have a broad knowledge of finance and accounting or management. Companies typically seek a candidate with a degree in public accounting, finance or management or equivalent. In the UK, people refer to public accounting as chartered accountancy. In terms of oral and written skills, some companies require experience of 10 years or more. A chief financial officer must have oral and written communication skills. These are vital skills because they must liaise with external financial organisms. In terms of working in a team, being able to work in a team with the other executives is also important. In other words, the candidate must be a team player. In terms of MBA, some employers may also insist that the candidate has an MBA. MBA stands for Master of Business Administration. It is a postgraduate degree that focuses on developing the skills that people need to run or manage a business. Chief People Officer. A company can have the greatest ideas, the greatest products, and the greatest technology, and still fail if it does not have the right people to execute its vision. When a company grows beyond the let's just hire our friends phase, it needs a human resources department to find those employees. And when a company grows to the point where HR requires a fully staffed team, it sometimes creates C-level executive role called the Chief People Officer, also referred to as the Chief Human Resource Officer or the Chief Talent Officer to lead HR. The CPO's team does a lot more than identify and vet new hires. The responsibilities of a Chief People Officer include manage employee benefits and payroll, mediates employee grievances, investigates supervisor employee disputes, oversees employee evaluations, and monitors morale and employee turnover. It also can handle internal messaging such as informing employees of changes in policies and benefits and employee training and education. The CPO is HR's leader and chief strategist, contributing input on corporate decisions about growth and organizational design. Not every company sees the need for a CPO. Currently, only about 7% of the mid-sized organization have an HR executive in the C-suite. Many are forward-thinking, fast-growing startups competing for a talent in a lean labor market, but some are longer established enterprises. Chief Executive Officer. A Chief Executive Officer or CEO is the highest ranking executive in a company, whose primary responsibilities include making major corporate decisions, managing the overall operations and resources of a company, acting as the main point of communication between the board of directors and corporate operations, and being public face of the company. A CEO is elected by the board and its shareholders. So, okay, understanding chief executive officers. A CEO role varies from one company to another depending on the company's size, culture, and corporate structure. In large corporations, CEOs typically deal only with very high-level strategic decisions and those that direct the company's overall growth. In smaller companies, CEOs often are more hands-on and involved with day-to-day functions. CEOs can set the tone, vision, and sometimes the culture of their organizations. Because of their frequent dealings with the public, sometimes the chief executive officers of large corporations become famous. For example, Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, for example, is a household name today. Similarly, Steve Jobs, founder and CEO of Apple, became such as a global icon that following his death in 2011, an explosion of documentary films about him emerged. The difference between CEO and COB, or which is known as Board of Directors. So the CEO directs the operational aspects of a company. The board of directors oversees the company as a whole, while the leader of the board is called the chairman of the board or COB. The board has the power to overrule the CEO's decision, but the chairman of the board does not have the power to overrule the board. Instead, the chairman is considered a peer with the other board members. In some cases, the CEO and the chairman of the board can be the same person, but many companies split these roles between two people. Chief Innovation Officer. A Chief Innovation Officer or Chief Technology Innovation Officer is a person in a company who is primarily responsible for managing the process of innovation and change management in an organization, as well as being, in some cases, the person who originates new ideas but also recognizes innovative ideas generated by the other people. The CINO also manages technological change. These are the 7 key roles in the CIO's mission. Supporting best practices. This involves scouting and standardizing market research methods for novel ideas and insights. Strategic innovation, promoting open innovation, and introducing group tools and processes that encourage creative thinking. The second one is developing skills. This is about training company personnel on the skills they need and developing and applying measures to track improvements in innovation and the skills underpinning them. The third one is supporting business units in new product and service initiatives. This means acting as methodology expert and facilitator for the most critical innovation. Teams across the company, supporting them in raising the bar of their aspirations. Training other managers to perform these roles also allows them to support innovation in business units. Identifying new market spaces. This includes analyzing trends and market disruptions and searching for emerging new market opportunities. In some cases, they will need to be developed at the corporate level when they do not fit into the current business unit's boundaries. Helping people generate ideas. Setting up and running ideas generation platforms and formats like jam sessions and internal or external crowdsourcing for the benefit of the corporation. Directing seed funding. Owning and allocating a yearly budget to fund homeless ideas that are either too risky for the business units or outside their existing business boundaries, which might not otherwise get funded. This provides an organizational home to nourish and protect new ideas. Designing shelter for promising of projects. Designing research allocation processes such as portfolio, stage gate, and budgeting to take potentially disruptive innovations forward from the seed stage to the market without getting killed on the way by managers who are invested in the status.